Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am so happy to be here with you talking the talk today. And so let's just get started, all right? So open your hands and repeat after me. Today is a new day, and I am open, and I am willing to move forward with faith over fear. And I claim my wholeness. And so it is. Amen and amen. So I'm going to talk to you about the whole thing that started unity. The whole thing that started unity was Myrtle's healing and Myrtle's belief that she could heal her body because she was connected to divine source. When she had that moment of realization, she believed that she could heal. And she did the steps that for her felt right. So she started with that beautiful affirmation, I am the child of God, therefore I do not inherit sickness. And she was happy about that. And then in her meditations, she would go in, she'd close her eyes, and she would talk to her body and tell her body to forgive her, how happy she was that it had carried her through life and that it was restoring itself to its natural state of being, which I like to call the blueprint of divine perfection, that we all have this wonderful divine blueprint of perfection because we were created out of love, and nothing is more perfect than love, this unconditional love. And so I want to talk to you about healing and how important it is, especially in unity and in moving through that and healing not just the physical body, but it could be also healing states that are going on in our lives. So worry, fear, illness, poverty, relationships, all of those things impact us in a very big way. And we have the tendency to give in and let fear make our choices over faith. We give away our own inner spiritual authority that we are already whole, that we are already divine, that we are already provided for, that God is our source, to look outside, to let our bank account tell us our worth, to let our physicians give us our diagnosis, to let the world tell us what we can and can't do, to have our parents tell us who and what we can't be. Do you see where I'm going? We have these whole things that we give away, all of these pieces of ourselves that we give away. And Jesus created miracles, right? That's how people looked at it, that it was a miracle, that they were healed. He did exorcisms. Now, what were those exorcisms? And getting rid of the legion of demons, right? The demons and the enemies that Jesus is often talking about are the demons and enemies within our own mind, all of those negative thoughts. And I don't know about you, but I have held a legion of negative thoughts in my mind at one time about how I wasn't good enough, I was ugly, nobody liked me, I couldn't make people understand me. There was a litany, there was this big list, and how much of that do you have? And so these are things that we carry, and so these are those demons that possess us. These are the negative thoughts, the enemies that sit at the table with us and keep us from moving forward. They keep us from taking that step, from moving forward, because we get into them and we play that in our head and we say, well, And we believe in the golden rule, right? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And that was something that Jesus said, and we consider that the golden rule. And you're thinking, well, I mind people, I mind my parents. I'm kind, I'm considerate, I do good things. And why do these bad things keep happening to me? And we're thinking that, well, do good to others and they shall do good unto you, is that we must be missing something, that we're broken that. But perhaps it's that state of mind, that enemy that we're dealing with, because we are focused on the misery. We are focused on the misery because it is in our reality. We got the diagnosis, so it has to be true. There can't be a mistake. And maybe there's not, but it doesn't mean that you can't change it. It doesn't mean that you can't change it. And we'll look for alternatives, and we'll go through the list of our history to see what it is. And, it's in my family DNA. On both sides, my parents all have high blood pressure, or cancer runs throughout my family, or madness runs throughout my family. It's a gene thing. And so we allow that to come into our life, and we take this ownership into that reality. But how easy it for us to say and to believe and to faithfully say, I'm healed. I am one with the divine. The divine has me in this. I don't need to worry about my electric being paid or having water. I don't need to worry about putting gas in my car, because God is going to take care of that. Instead, we'll say, okay, God, this is up to you to take care of. I'm giving it over, but I'm keeping score, and I'm keeping to try to have to keep fixing these things, and I'm double checking my bank account, and you haven't put any extra money in there. I'm getting news from the doctor that this situation needs to be taken care of, or I'm getting sicker. I'm getting this, so you're not showing up. And in that, the divine says, I can only give you where you're at. Where's your faith? And when Jesus talks about go and sin no more, sin is when we are out of alignment with our divinity. And so when we are in our misery and we say, I didn't sign up for this, this isn't what I want, this isn't how it's supposed to be, but yet I'm getting 30 years of this, and it keeps going and going and going. What you're getting is this wonderful thing. You're getting this energy of what you don't want, which is, according to, Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks, the law of attraction. You're shooting rockets about what you do want into the universe for your desire. So that's already being cleared for you. It's already being paid for you for that healing to occur. But we have to allow ourselves to step into the faith over the fear. And prayer and meditation work. They work if you practice them, if you use them, and if you get your mind off of the distraction. If you get your mind off of what's showing up in the moment of like saying, well, I don't know, I'm looking, the internet in all of its wonderful ways has set people back, because they can go online and they can see their test results and they can read what's into that, and they can say, oh, well, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. I have something. And then they go get looking on the internet so that they can see all of these possibilities of where they're going. And then they take ownership of that because somebody said that, which is an outer authority. What does your spiritual authority say? And I want you just for a moment, take a deep breath, let it out, and to say, I am miserably broken. And say it out loud. I know you're resisting it. Please say it. How does that feel? Do you have an agreement with it? Well, yeah, that's what I'm always saying. Or it doesn't feel good to say that about myself. And now, take that deep breath in, let it out, and say, I am whole, I am loved, and I am perfect. I am whole, I am loved, and I am perfect. Can you tell the difference in how that feels? Can you see it? Can you breathe it into your being? Because that is the essence of who you are. God has already healed you. Spirit has already healed you. It already has that ready. It's about letting go of the belief that you don't have a choice. It's about moving in faith to what you don't know, but what can be there. It's about allowing the healing to take place. And we have a lot of healing modalities in New Thought. You know, people do Reiki, they do sound therapy, they do Diksha. There's all different kinds, DNA theta healing. There's all kinds of other types of healing. Now, DNA theta healing actually has a prayer process to it. But it's like when people are working in those areas and they start to have a healing, it wasn't necessarily that healed them. The person had started to put themselves in the state of the mind to believe in the healing. And in the early 1900s, when New Thought was really, really awake and people were practicing it, people would go for what they called healing treatments. And this would be, again, if they were going to be kicked out of their house, or they had to have, to go into the bank with so much money to keep from losing something, or whatever, they'd have to have this, or they were sick, they'd go for healing treatments. And those healing treatments were affirmative prayers. And the practitioners doing these treatments already believed that the work was done before they did it. And there would be healing. But what even helped better was when the people believed that they were healed, just like when Jesus heals the lepers, right? There's 10 lepers, one comes back because he knows he's healed. And he's telling Jesus, thank you, right? He's recognizing the healing. The 9 just kept going to go to the Pharisees to be seeing that they were healed. But it was their belief in it. We have to have that belief, and belief has to extend from faith. We have to move from doubt. We have to move from fear. We have to move from what ifs. And what if I never get better? Okay? What if your body doesn't, but your mind totally improves and you're happier? Do you not feel healthier because you're in a better state of mind, and that maybe can shift? Maybe letting go of having the ownership of the diagnosis, having the ownership of all of the issues and talking about all of the problems and how bad this is. What if we just saw what it is, the desire that was put into us, that we are already divine beings, we are co-creators, and we can move the energy forward. You have that ability within you, and I deem you are healed, and so it is. And so it is. You are healed, you are whole, you are perfect. And until next time, namaste.